Patience is the rarest commodity in trading. It isn't listed on any exchange. You can't buy it on margin. And no amount of technical knowledge can substitute for it. Every trader who tries to outsmart the market eventually learns the same brutal truth. The market rewards those who can wait and punishes those who can't. I've seen it countless times. A trader senses a move, feels the pulse of the tape, and his instincts whisper, now. But instead of letting the move mature, he rushes in, hungry for action. His capital gets tied up in premature trades. His emotions twist with every tick. And when the real move finally begins, he's already drained, financially and mentally. Patience isn't about doing nothing. It's about waiting for the right moment to do the only thing that matters. There were days I'd sit in my office for hours, watching the ticker, pencil still, mind calm. The market buzzed with false excitement. Prices jumping, retracing, spiking again. Inexperienced traders called that opportunity. I called it noise. The real money, the lasting profits, comes from the quiet spaces between movements, when nothing seems to be happening, but everything beneath the surface is preparing for the next shift. Impatience is born from insecurity. The trader who doesn't trust his own analysis feels compelled to act, to prove something. But the market doesn't care about proving. It only rewards precision. Patient trader isn't passive. He's a predator in tall grass, motionless, breathing with the rhythm of the market, waiting for his setup to align before striking. I learned this the hard way. Early in my career, I was often right about direction and wrong about timing. I entered too early, absorbed unnecessary drawdowns, and let emotions dictate my exits. Watching a correct idea lose money hurts more than being wrong outright. It teaches you that being right too soon can be just as costly as being wrong. Patience bridges that gap. It gives the market time to confirm your conviction before you commit your capital. There's an old saying, the tape doesn't shout, it whispers. Only the patient trader can hear it. When I read the tape, I wasn't looking for movement. I was listening for rhythm. Every surge, every pause, every level carried meaning. If you can't wait long enough to understand it, you're not trading, you're gambling. Here's the irony. Most traders don't lose because they lack strategy. They lose because they lack stillness. They crave activity. They feel the need to always be in the market. That isn't discipline. It's addiction disguised as ambition. The best trade you'll ever make is often the one you don't take. I've made millions by waiting and lost millions by rushing. The market taught me, in its own ruthless way, that opportunity is where patience meets preparation. I remember a trade that tested my patience to the limit. It was during a long consolidation. The public grew restless. Newspapers predicted chaos. Analysts argued in every direction. The noise was unbearable. But I had done my homework. I knew what I was waiting for. I could see accumulation forming quietly while the world looked elsewhere. So I waited. Days became weeks. I ignored the chatter and stayed focused on the chart. When the breakout finally came, it was explosive, so obvious in hindsight that everyone claimed they saw it coming. They didn't. They were too busy chasing the shadows of yesterday's moves. Patience isn't glamorous. It doesn't deliver the adrenaline rush of quick wins. It delivers something far more valuable: consistency. The patient trader sleeps well, knowing he isn't forcing trades out of boredom or fear. He lets the market do the heavy lifting. He aligns with the rhythm of price, not the impulse of emotion. The hardest part of trading isn't taking a loss. It's doing nothing. When you're flat, your mind plays tricks on you. You question your analysis. You watch others act and feel like you're missing out. But markets aren't generous, they're cunning. They lure the impatient with small profits, then take it all back with interest. A patient trader doesn't chase opportunity. He attracts it by staying still until the moment presents itself. Patience requires faith, not blind faith in luck, but faith in your process. Every great trader has a system, written or instinctive, that defines when to act and when to wait. If your system says stay out, that is a position of discipline. When a trader loses patience, he stops thinking. He reacts. And reaction is the death of precision. Think of it this way. A sniper doesn't shoot at movement. He shoots the right target at the right moment. The trigger pull lasts a second. The waiting is the craft. Trading is no different. There were times I waited months for a single perfect setup. That wasn't wasted time, it was preparation. I studied sectors, tracked leading stocks, and watched subtle shifts in volume, sentiment, and liquidity. The longer I waited, the clearer the picture became. And when the moment finally arrived, execution felt effortless. That's the paradox of patience. Feels like doing nothing. In reality, you're sharpening your edge. Most traders lose patience because they lack a plan. Without structure, waiting feels like drifting. You need defined criteria for entry, confirmation, and execution. That's your compass. Patience without a framework is procrastination. Patience guided by a plan is power. When you know exactly what you're waiting for, time stops being an enemy and becomes an ally. And here's the deeper truth. The market doesn't test your strategy as much as it tests your character. It tempts you to act early, shakes you when you should hold, and occasionally rewards your worst habits. Just enough to keep you hooked. You can't rush mastery. You can't hurry the tape. Markets unfold on their own schedule. The only thing you truly control is your response. That's it, traders, for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, share, and like the video. Bye bye. Let's meet in the next video.